It's Sunday and it's time for the Polkadot price update video where I'll talk about the Polkadot market and then we'll look at the prices. Of course, this is a dedicated video for that, so make sure to stick around. I'm going to talk about Phala, NEER, KMA, MOVR, GLMR, RMRK, AUSD, and then I'll look at KSM and DOT as well. So let's kick things off with Phala. Now Phala has been doing really well and it actually found decent support around 16 cents. Even with the market crash. I mean, when we had the market crash, of course, it went down quite a lot, down to like just under 12 cents, as we can see here. And I thought there's no way out of this. I mean, I was very annoyed because I did get a bag of Phala. I love their staking. It's awesome. They will have a halving event on the 21st of November. But for now, this is how it is. I mean, the APY is like over 100% for most of the validators. Each validator can run multiple pools as well with the same address. And so you can stake with one validator, for example, against multiple pools. So you can distribute your Phala. And I have done a tutorial explaining how to do that. So I'm guessing that's partly why people have been bullish on Phala and have been buying. But aside from that, it's also the NFT minting event for the upcoming game using metaverse technology called Phala World. And so as you can see here, the market makers have pumped this price. It went to 30 cents in fact here, which is crazy, almost 30 cents from a bottom of 16 cents, which was the support area when Bitcoin was still around 19.5, 20k. We just had a massive pop here, but then of course it crashed with the market. And so that's the reason you're seeing this massive dump here. But imagine if this hadn't happened. I mean, if this hadn't happened and then the market crash would have came, it would have been much worse for Phala holders. We would have probably seen maybe 10 cents, maybe even 7 cents again, and then maybe a slight recovery to like 11 or 12 cents. But now we're doing okay because of this, right? Because we had this big pop. So Alameda are apparently market makers for Phala and they have a contract with them. So I'm assuming they're the ones causing these massive buys and sells. And so I am a bit concerned that when this contract ends, we may see a dump and it's just going to be selling because the staking rewards are quite high. I can tell you that like with a certain amount of money, not even like a lot, you can generate a decent amount of income. And so, you know, because of the high APY of over 100%. And with the halving, it's not actually going to drop to 50% for the ones that are 100%, but it's actually going to drop by 25% from what I was told. So it's not exactly a halving event, they call it that, but it doesn't halve the rewards. It only cuts off like a quarter, I should say, of those rewards, 25%. And so, yeah, that's the reason why things are so good now with Phala and why there's so much buying activity. But when this contract with Alameda, with the market makers end at the end of November, we'll have to see if the market holds okay for Phala, if we're still seeing some buying because of the high APY, because of people wanting to get dividends in this bear market, of course. And yeah, we'll see. But yeah, like I said, this area has now formed a really good support, which I'm happy to see. And of course, at any point we could see another pop to over 20 cents. I'm not saying it's not possible, it's very likely possible. But one of the other advantages of staking Phala is that if you decide to unstake Phala, you do need to wait between 7 to 14 days, depending on the block delay on Kusama and on Acala's parachain. But the good thing is that you can continue to get the rewards. Okay, so even if you have to wait 7 to 14 days to get access to them, you continue to get those rewards. So awesome, right? You can't complain about that. And then next, let's look at NEER here. NEER has been holding okay with the market crash. It went down to 27 cents. I was expecting worse. We had massive wicks here to 34 cents on a number of occasions. Another growth here, as you can see, to almost 34 cents. Actually, we did touch 34 cents. Yeah, we did. We went to 34.20 here, in fact, and then started dumping again. But it's not dumping that much because it looks like it wants to push back up here. However, we are still trading below the 200-day moving average, this purple line here. So I am a bit concerned because we did break above it, but we didn't hold. I mean, it just dumped right back. So we are still in a bearish territory here for NEER until we see some massive news, which is going to take us out of this, hopefully, and we can start trading above this 200-day moving average again. We do need a much bigger pump here. We do need to see this at like 35 to 40 cents to change the trajectory, to take us out of this bearish trend here. But until that happens, I guess it's anyone's guess what this could get to. But we do have support resistance. Like, we should always look at support resistance. And if we look here, Let's go further back. When was the last time we had this level here? So we got to 27 cents around 13th of September. So we do have a bit of a support here. We are currently at this area of support around the 29 cents area, which is also from the 13th of September when we started the uptrend. But I mean, the next area after that, and we do have more here apparently. Yeah, we do have more from the 5th of September and the 4th as well. But the next area would be around 27, and then 26 would be another good area of support if we are to dump lower. And this is me assuming that somebody decides to sell a large bag. We go to 24 cents and then we bounce right back up to 26 cents because this is our area of support, and we stabilize around there for a while unless there's more selling pressure, of course, taking us further down. So that's the current situation. And in terms of resistance, we do have a lot of resistance around 32 cents, and hence why we weren't able to go that much higher here. We went to 34, but we dumped right back. Because it is hard to break this area of resistance here. It has accumulated for quite some time. Also, 37 cents is pretty solid here. It will take a lot of buying pressure for us to break above 37 cents. But even getting to that, I mean, to me, is still pretty good. I'm still happy to see. I'd be happy to see it at 37 cents. So we'll see how that goes. Let's move on to talk about KMA. KMA has changed trajectory as well and trend. As you can see here, I did say this in the last Sunday video where I was saying that I don't like the look of this. I mean, it was going down. It looked like we were breaking below the 200-day moving average here. It's pretty obvious. And then, you know, it just basically followed the same trend as NEER, you know, and then we just continue to dump. People are selling the staking rewards. There are no news right now, no bullish news at least with Calamari. And so you can expect us to retest those low levels once again of around 2 cents. Or sorry, I should say of around, let me go back here to 1.6. So 1.6 has pretty good support. Okay, and then as in terms of resistance, it's 2 cents. Right, so yeah, that's the situation we're in with the Calamari. Like, you know, market cycles are like that. They don't last very long. If you see a bullish trend like that, don't expect it to last for too long, especially in a bear market like this. Let's look at MOVR as well. MOVR has been dumping like crazy. There's just no end in sight. When we had the pullback, of course, with the market crash, went to $8, then popped back up to $9.55, and the only thing that's gonna pump MOVR once again is gonna be those Moonsama NFT sales and buys. When people want to buy those Moonsama NFTs, they will be buying MOVR off the market, because apparently that's the explanation behind these spikes that we've been seeing with MOVR. And until that happens, and maybe we'll take MOVR to around $10 again for a short period of time, you can expect us to stick around this area for a while, perhaps even dump below. But that's the sad news with MOVR. We're not seeing too much activity right now, and there's no buying demand right now. Let's just face it, that's the situation, just like with anything else. Now, GLMR had a massive unlock, and the unlock was actually at midnight on the 11th of November, and surprisingly, there wasn't a massive dump with that unlock, right? I mean, this is on the 10th here, and then on the 11th, the unlock was around here, and we're actually doing okay. We're at 40 cents. There was a bit of a pullback here to 36. I'm not sure if this sell-off is because of the unlock, or maybe the investors are waiting for better days and they're just holding, they're just staking. I don't know what they're doing. Or maybe they're just waiting for people to think that, you know, they're not going to sell, and then when people start buying more, boom, we see the dump, right? And we could take us much lower to the 25 cents region. I think that they bought around 25 cents though. It depends on which round of the private sale. But let's look at the next unlock here. So as you know, I am using token.unlocks. I like this website because it does tell you when you can expect the next unlock event. I spoke with the guys from this team, and they said that once they finish listing a few more tokens, they will be looking at the Polkadot ecosystem, and they'll try to get Aster listed here. They'll also get Centrifuge listed, and hopefully Bitcountry as well. I actually want them to get Bitcountry Pioneer listed so we can see the next unlocks. I know that the next unlock for Bitcountry is in March. I should say the first unlock, because anything else right now is just crowd loan rewards. So regarding GLMR, strategic funding 12 million GLMR, 1.2% of the supply. Seed funding 6.6 million. Key partners and advisors 2.1 million, and pure stake early backers 823,000. So a total of over 21.6, almost 21.7 million GLMR, which is around $7.8 million worth, is going to get unlocked in 27 days and 8 hours. So there's still plenty of time for that. on the 11th of December 2022. So until then, we can just wait and see, right? But it's not looking pretty here. It could just be a slow dump here in terms of these investors slowly releasing, not to scare the market, not to generate bot sell-offs. It could be they are strategic after all, right? They are strategic investors, pun intended. And so you can expect strategic selling as well. Next, let's look at RMRK here. RMRK has done pretty well, actually. In fact, when they had that Binance Live discussion about metaverses, there were some suspicions or speculations, I should say, that Binance are going to be building something on RMRK. That's the stuff that's been spoken about in the community, but I don't know. I haven't followed. It's just what I've been told. You could see we had a nice pop here. We went to 348 here, in fact, for RMRK, and then the sell-off begun because people were absolutely eager to sell, but also the market dump, so it's two things in one here, but it's not looking pretty for RMRK holders here. We did go back to this level where we were the last time, where we found some support here on 224. It looked like this area was a good area where people just said, you know what, I'm holding RMRK, I'm not selling anymore, it's way too low. But of course with this, a lot of people were selling here. You could see as soon as we went up here to 340, we had the sell-off here to 3. We went up again to 348 and we had another sell-off. So people were eagerly getting out here, waiting for lower prices probably, or maybe just never joining back, because you will get these kind of people too who don't believe in the long-term vision of a team. Like, I think things are going to be great. Look at Singular. There's so many collections coming up there. And Skybridge is around the corner as well, but I do have to say that I am disappointed with the fact that the RMRK token doesn't have utility yet. I really think they should have done something, I don't know, a 50-50, Kusama and RMRK, or just RMRK in the Singular marketplace, so that people can actually use that token. At the end of the day, having it as a governance token is not good for the price, and this is the reality, right? As a team member, if I was the team member, I would say, no, we should definitely think of a utility for RMRK. Let's think right now. What can we do so people are incentivized to hold? Be it staking, be it locking, whatever. Give people something, right? Make them use the token. Don't just use it for governance. And so that's just my thoughts on this, right? And until Skybridge happens and until we get that utility for RMRK, things are not going to look pretty. Unless you get some speculative news, don't expect the price to do wonders here. I'm just trying to be realistic with you. Let's move on and talk about AUSD here. AUSD, let's see. Oh my gosh, 29 cents. I haven't even looked at this till today, actually. What a dump here. Look at this. It went from 62 all the way to 29. This is absolutely insane. And this is, of course, with the market crash, because it lost its peg and it's acting just like another altcoin. But I am pretty sure it's been doing better on Stellar Swap and on Beam Swap and other dexes, right? I don't know why it dumped so much on KuCoin. It's insane. 29 cents, and it still has that ST label as well, I think. I don't think they removed this, did they? Yeah, it's still there, as you can see, ST. So I don't know when they're gonna delist this token, and if they delist it, will they allow withdrawals? Because remember, KuCoin don't actually know what the teams are gonna do until the teams tell them. So if they disabled withdrawals, it's for a reason, right? It's because the team told them. So until the team at Acala say, yeah, you can withdraw, they're not going to enable it, I think. So yeah, there's something going on there. I don't know when this is going to recover, if it will ever recover on KuCoin, if it's going to get delisted. Looking at it from an outsider's perspective, considering that the ST label has been there for so long, I think the probability of the delisting is actually very high at this stage. And for me personally, I just don't see a reason to actually buy this and speculate that this is going to go up, simply because I'm not sure they're actually going to enable withdrawals. Even if I get in very cheap and then they delist, and then I can move that off to a DEX and I could sell that for a profit, well, I don't know if that's going to happen. And so to me personally, it's very, very high risk at this stage, even with 29 cents. Although I would have loved to see this when the first crash happened, because as you know, we bounced right back up. There was speculation things are going to be back to normal, and it went to almost $1. It was like 96 cents, if you remember that, right at the beginning. So yeah, this is how it is. Let's look at Kusama. Kusama, how are you doing? $24.13. Really, really nasty. It's like this with the whole market, right? Every altcoin has dumped in the same way, and Kusama has seen no better days. It went from 38.90 all the way down to 23. It's absolutely crazy here. It's brutal for the holders, it's brutal for the crowd loan contributors, and that's how it is, right? This is the reality of it. There's no other way, right? And things did look good. I mean, we went to 39 here. We were hoping to see higher prices. We were hoping to see that $50 retest, and it just never happened. And this is the cruel situation in a bear market. You see this kind of moves and you just don't know what's going to happen. So yeah, definitely. Now the next area of resistance is around $32. So we're going to see some resistance here, some resistance here as well around 33. But I mean, aside from that, it's not looking pretty, right? And then when it comes to the dumping, let me zoom out more and see if it was to go down further, where would the next area be? Wow, this is so insane. Yeah, I can't seem to zoom in properly here. Where are we now? 22. Okay, so we've got a little bit of support here, just hanging off this one. We had that massive pop here after the Binance listing. I assume this was during the Huobi listing when we went to 15 bucks in 2020. I remember that. And then $15 looks like the next area of support. So if we lose this, it's $15 next. And this is the situation. I mean, we are in a bear market. It's almost like a full pullback here from the moment we got the Huobi listing. It's absolutely insane how it dumped. I mean, look at this. Imagine seeing this at 600 and then seeing this at 500 and then dumping like that. I mean, it's, oh my gosh, it's brutal. It's brutal for any holder, right? Let's face it. Let's look at DOT as well. This is the final one for today. DOT USDT, $5.83. We do have support around this area. Remember, we have support around $6 and also around 580. So it is holding okay here. I mean, we saw the same kind of dump here. Of course, we had the same kind of dump as Kusama, but the difference is, let me go to the 1 hour chart here. The difference is that when we had the pop here, it was definitely bigger, right? I mean, we had this massive spike here, and then we continued the uptrend. We had this dump here to 622 again, but then we continued another uptrend here to 736 until the market crash, which of course took us to 540. But nevertheless, I mean, Kusama has been performing, DOT has been performing better than Kusama in terms of the price. And this is all because all action is on Polkadot right now, and that's the situation. Kusama is being used as a staging environment, not a testing environment, a staging environment, because you are still on a live network using real money, real value, and you're just testing functionalities on that staging environment. So that is the situation with Kusama. The lack of crowd loans, not enough buying demand. People don't care right now. People are just stacking up. It's mostly bots buying, maybe some speculators too, but mostly bots when the market goes up in terms of Bitcoin, of course. But aside from that, that's the situation we're in. We are in a bad situation. There are still people, of course, accumulating at prices like these. Every month when they receive their salary, they start buying bits and pieces of their favorite altcoins, the ones that they trust in. And I know a lot of people personally that are buying DOT on a monthly basis. A couple of $100 every single month, right? And they're stacking it up for the next bull run. And that's how the mentality should be. Not financial advice, but if you do have spare funds and you really believe in something, I mean, that's the way I see it, right? I'm not saying it has to be DOT. It could be anything you want, right? But to me, like that's the way I see it. It's like, if you know that this is going to go up and you believe in the project and the team, then why not, right? At the end of the day, why else would you be in this space if you're not thinking to get in? So that's the way I see it. So yeah, that's been it from today's Polka Markets video. Have a lovely Sunday. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video tomorrow. Bye-bye.